right, you guys.
You're listening to Rockin' Sexy Uncensored, bringing you the cutting edge of the
got it.
entertainment world weekly, hosted by Amber Lynn.
All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Rockin' Sexy Uncensored. It almost didn't happen, but guess what, folks? Technology will do it to you every time. We are coming at you live, thank God, on rockinsexyuncensored.com. We are broadcasting tonight live from Las Vegas in conjunction with Level 9 Studio. RNSU works overtime, folks, bringing you celebrity guests and co-hosts from the cutting edges of the world of entertainment, media, music, movies, and more. And tonight is no exception. I'm your host, Amber Lynn, and it's my pleasure to be here with you guys. Guys, a little later in the studio, or maybe right now, you never know how things are going to roll around here. We will have celebrity hairstylist to the stars, media personality. He is known as the Messiah of Makeover for his iconic restylings of Hollywood's A-list stars. Pamela Anderson, Anna Nicole Smith, Marilyn Manson, Faye Resnick, the list goes on and on and on. Daniel DeCristio will be joining us via Skype. He was just on here a little bit ago. No, he doesn't have to come in now, but when we're ready for him, he's going to be doing a segment on fashion and hair trends in the pandemic. We can all use a little help in the pandemic, guys. He'll also be talking about politics and possibly even some fun gossip. But guess what, folks? Joining me live in the studio, he is a world-renowned actor and performer in the industry, not of the PG variety, though. He is a legend in the adult industry. He was named by AVN in the top 50 porn stars, and he holds a triple crown of being inducted to AVN Night Moves and the XRCO Hall of Fame. Many of you that don't know the adult entertainment industry don't realize that that is the highest honor you can achieve in adult entertainment. He has well over 600 credits to his career, maybe even more by now. And many of them he produced and directed through his own brand company, Shawn Michaels Entertainment. Please welcome to Rockin' Sexy Uncensored, the man, the myth, the legend, Shawn Michaels in the studio.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for having me, and it's an honor to be here with you because, yeah, you're one of the matriarchs of our industry and still handling business. So
Thank you, right? Are we good? Ah, I can't
thank
tell
you.
you what a blessing it is to be here tonight, guys. We had a little technical glitch getting the show off, and we resolved it, and now I'm so grateful. Why? Because I thought we weren't going to be able to do the show with you tonight, Shawn. And we've been trying to get back together on this for a long
A minute,
time,
yeah.
right? We had Shawn in our studio on my Los Angeles show, and we had a really deep conversation about a lot of topics from the industry. You know, Shawn and I go back, what? How many years?
Wow. At least close to 17, 18 years now.
17, 18 years
Yeah.
has been, I thought it was longer than that.
It may be. It may be.
Right.
I mean, I may be a little.
When
off
did you
there.
begin your career?
1989.
Okay. So it
1988.
was like several years after me. I
Right.
remember when you came in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I came in and I was pretty like any other red-blooded American person in general in this world who loves sex. This business was just a fantasy, like it is for most people. And I said, "Wow, I think I hope I can bring something tangible to this industry." And I still had my nursing job at the time, so I was a part-timer till like 90, 91. And I actually got an offer to go to Germany, Hanover, Germany, and that's really where my career started.
Wow. So you originally came in from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember when you actually first came into the business, um, but you weren't there to become a porn actor, were you? Or did you wanna try it out?
In the beginning, I was there to become an actor, uh, mainly because I wanted to have the experience. But then I also noticed that the black males weren't really being given a platform in which to elevate themselves if they wanted to become a producer or director and or a company owner and or distributor like myself. So therefore, I decided to quit my day job and take on the adult industry full force.
When was that? In 1989?
No, 91.
About 1990,
Yeah,
91.
it took me a year.
Okay, because about that time I had already kind of catapulted. I came in 1983. I became, you know, big as I was.
Absolutely.
And then I went out on the road and I started dancing.
Hmm.
I had this conversation with several women of the industry surrounding a lot of the events that kind of went down around the whole George Floyd thing.
Hmm.
And, the conversation has gotten deep, gotten crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and I said to them, they said, we want to go back and we want to change. No longer do we want to have interracial called interracial anymore.
Hmm.
And I said, guess what, folks? I come from a time in this industry, and I don't know if I'm wrong. I don't remember it, or maybe I'm just not racist, and therefore see through
Right.
a different veil.
Right.
Okay. We didn't call it interracial, or nobody said that to me. They
Hmm.
didn't put it on the box cover. It wasn't special. It wasn't different. It was two talents, whether you would work with that person or not, had nothing whatsoever to do with their race, background, or color of their skin. It just didn't.
Right.
Um, then at some point, I was out on the road dancing and I came back and they were doing this new genre, a couple of them. One of them, which kind of affected me more, was the MILF genre. Okay, so that was kind of like a way to take somebody who was getting a little long in the tooth or older, or as they would say, too old to be in the industry anymore, whatever they try to put on you.
Right.
Um, and they were going to rebox you and then be able to sell you out some more.
Hmm.
And then there was interracial. And I remember the conversation specifically. I came back to the industry and I ran into TT Boy, and he was a really good friend of my brother's. And he said to me, hey, you want to shoot for my company? My company specializes in interracial. Do you do interracial? And I said, what race? And he looked at me like I was like retarded, right? And he goes, what do you mean, what race? What are you, retarded? And I said, well, what are you talking about? Like, are you talking about like black, Asian? What are we talking about here? And he goes, oh, oh, hey, now I get it. Okay. Because it's like, there's not just one race in the world. And why is it? So I said, and he said, okay, well, I don't pay extra. For what? And he goes, for interracial scenes, talent to work in interracial. And I go, well, first of all, cutie, you're going to pay me extra no matter who I work with, because that's who I am. Just as the status, of where I am in the industry has nothing to do with that.
Right.
And then we broke it down and we talked about it. And I said, that doesn't make sense to me. It just didn't make sense to me that we were going to box it because it was, and then it exploded. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool, because I'm happy for any of my friends when they do well, because I want to do well, And
Hmm.
if there's a way for you to make better money or get better recognition, especially when I hear you say that you didn't feel like as a Black performer, you were being elevated to the same levels or your most potential levels, then I would totally support that.
Hmm.
But it seems like it backfired.
It did because, in my opinion, they the industry, the studios tried to do two things. They try to marginalize black men and black women, and at the same time put a bounty on their scenes, meaning that if there were new white female talent or even new white male talent, you could be paid more, not so much the males, but definitely the females, by companies like Blacked to work with a performer like myself. And let's face it,
How did that make you feel, Sean?
well, I felt like, okay, here we are, 400 years again, and there's no there's some movement to equalize the playing field for blacks in America, brown people in America, but as we can see, the field is definitely not equal.
When this subject would have come up with you, what I see is I know the company Blacked. It's I can't remember the name of the guy's company, but I do know the company. I think it's some Greg Landis.
I
Is it Greg? Okay,
believe so.
somebody. But anyway, and he's a real classy guy
Yeah.
who does real classy stuff. I've seen his stuff. I don't know him personally,
Right.
but by that time,
Greg Lansky.
Shawn Michaels is a legend. Doesn't have anything to do with the color of his skin. It has to do with your body of work and your talent, and you have built yourself up.
Right.
You are absolutely, without any question whatsoever, in the adult industry. Sean is recognized as a legend and an icon in our industry. He's built his own company. Your company was successful for many years. Are you still doing Shawn Michaels Entertainment?
I'm still in charge of Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels Entertainment is up and running here in Vegas and around the world as well.
Is your sister still running your company with you?
She has ventured off into her own entrepreneurship, and she loves cooking and baking, so she's actually has a bake shop now.
Here in Vegas.
No, she's actually moving here to Vegas.
Oh, you're kidding.
She has it in LA, but she's moving to Vegas. She's just here. Actually, she just went back from a 4-day visit here.
I just remember when I worked with you on the movie, and Sean was my first anal scene in adult entertainment.
Thank you, by the way. That was
Yeah.
quite memorable.
And you came to it was great. We were talking about it on the show with Spike, and I said, Shawn Michaels, he knows what he's doing. Sean, he seems like he's a gentle guy, but he's a gentle giant. You got to climb up the side of Shawn Michaels, but you are a consummate professional. I remember when we did, and I guess it was Golden Ass the first time when we did that scene up in the Hollywood Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Golden Ass?
It was Golden Ass.
Okay. I remember that because I remember I think you were just starting your company.
I was just starting my company.
Right? We're just starting your company. He says, I'm starting my own company. I want to use you. You're a legend in the industry.
No, I had to have you.
Right? You said that. We're going to work together.
Yeah.
And I said to you, Sean, I've never done an anal scene. And he said, what it's going to take to get it done. And I said, this is perfect. Never once was there a question about color or race or anything between us. And this was fast forward to probably the 90s, the mid to late 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember his sister ran his company for him.
Mm-hmm.
I had a brother in the industry.
Love him to death.
Right? Award-winning actor, director, producer, Buck Adams. And he was in the industry for years. So when I saw that Sean was working with his sister on his company, I was like, yeah, this is how we roll.
This is how we roll.
And that's one of the things that people don't often get about people from the adult industry. Sometimes we are stigmatized and seen as, I don't know, they just don't see us as homebodies or family people. Right?
Right. Absolutely. They just need to look a little and dig a little deeper and see that, we like, let's take, for instance, the entertainers in Hollywood. You do your movie and your scenes and you go home to your family. We have a lot of people like that in the adult industry, and I have to say that Vegas is definitely embracing us. And yeah, we love our families just as much as anyone else out there.
Sean has a daughter. He's a dad now. Do you want to talk about being a dad?
Sure. To all dads and good parents out there, you know that it is a blessing to have a daughter and or a son. I have both, and I know the blessings have enhanced my life to this very moment and has inspired me to climb some tremendous setbacks in my life. And yeah, I'm doing what I'm doing for the future of their future in general, but also for the future of people who get me as an entertainer and as a person who yeah, I am an artist. People would say, "Oh, why would you call porn an industry of artists?" But I mean, I'm literally an artist. I paint, I draw, I paint, I sculpt. But it's your visions too. Like you as well. You
Mhm.
directed and produced. You have a vision, and as you know, it's great when people get your vision, and still to this day, people respect us, and the people who get the industry before 5, 10 years ago go, yeah, you can. What's great about things these days, you can fact check everything. So, what you've done in this industry to pave roads for young women coming into the industry, no matter what color you are, has been tremendous, and you're still doing it. And of what I've done, and what I'm still doing is helping, because there will always be new people come into the industry, and helping them get to the level that they would like to achieve in our industry. Because just like in pro sports, I always equate our industry to pro sports because it requires a lot of physical output from us, as it does with the athletes in pro sports. But the thing is, you just really you keep pushing yourself, and you keep wanting to elevate yourself so you can help the next person up, and that's what I like to do, and I continue to do it. People still inquire me with questions of just, hey, how do you do this?
I think that's amazing that you even explain it like that. And if you listen to him talk, what he's talking about is that his focus on how he works and builds his own brand is with the back thinking that how it's going to help the next performer achieve betterment and to help them rise to the levels of success that they want to. Most people in the world today, or a very big segment of human nature is all about me and mine. And that is not about the betterment of any industry.
Yeah.
It's about how I'm going to make as much money as I can and how I'm going to elevate myself. I think we all do that to a certain level. When I came into the adult entertainment industry, I explain it a little bit different. For me, it was about being a part of the freedom of speech movement. Now, I came in like in the 80s, which was right in front of the 70s, after they had to fight because the industry was illegal. And there were people like Harry Reams that were indicted. And they fought court cases to stay out of prison just because they were shooting porn.
Jamie Gillis. Mm-hmm.
Jamie Gillis, I lived with Jamie
Mm-hmm.
and we had a relationship for a long time. So I learned from these people, but I also learned from people who Jamie Gillis was a Shakespearean actor.
Yep, he was
John Leslie was a real actor.
one of
When
my
I came into
mentors.
this industry, you couldn't be some hot bib. Well, always help. Didn't hurt me, right? To be some hot bimbo, but you had to be able to act at the same time.
Yeah.
So, we brought all of that into our work. But the industry began to evolve and change, and it was illegal in the beginning to shoot porn. We had to keep our clothes off to the side of the set, and then they would call and say, the cops are here, and we would jump up, put our clothes on, and run out the door, and they would run out an opposite door like a fire drill
Mm-hmm.
with the tapes because the focus was to get the tapes off
Right.
the set, and then we bought that, and I think what was it in 1989?
And
With the
1989.
case
Yeah.
in
Yeah. It
1989
was
with Lenny
1989.
Burtman, we
Yeah.
won the right to be a legalized industry, and since then, but a lot has really changed in the face of the adult business, and certainly now with COVID, completely another industry. It's a completely another world. But I think one of the things I want to ask you now is I know that you've kind of gone through a lot of different doors. You've always been known for breaking down the next thing.
Hmm.
And now you're working on a new type of genre. You're bringing in,
I am, and I'm very proud to say to all of the T girls that I've worked with. I think I'm like on my 13th or 14th scene,
oh,
so I
really?
haven't done many yet. But you T girls, thank you so much for number one embracing me into the T girl and transgender industry side of our industry because I always found it very fascinating and a huge turn on because in 1995 I was in Paris, and after you do your shoots everybody goes out to eat for a few hours and then you kind of meander back to your hotel. Well, on our way back we passed a row of hookers. Yeah, beautiful hookers just hanging out on our way back. So and I was amazed, right?
Like you're
Okay.
passing hookers up, but you're Shawn Michaels. Like you know, people will pay you for sex.
I was like, hey, I'll definitely, yo, what's happening? But we got back to the hotel, and then the clerk says, "Oh, you guys, you passed the they call it T Girl Row," and I go, "What?" He
What
goes,
and where
"Yeah."
were you at?
It
What
was
team?
it was I was in Paris,
Oh, in Paris.
in
Okay, I've
Paris,
been to
and
Paris and I've
yes,
seen it. I think that's called Pigalle, right?
it
I was there with Sharon Mitchell for 4 months.
blew my mind. But I was like, wow, that turned me on at the same time. I was like, whoa, but why? So, and then okay, and here we are, 20 something years later, and I decided that this industry is never going to dictate to me what they're going to pay me, how they're going to treat me, and how I'm going to build my brand equity continuously. I reinvented myself through things that I enjoy doing. I always tell people if you do not enjoy sex tremendously in front of whoever, then this is not the industry for you. Do not come in here thinking that you can, ooh and ah your way through it because
Right.
there are connoisseurs of this industry who know when people are faking and they don't really want to be there. But having said that, I decided, well, you know what? 2018 was my time to give it a try with my T girls, and
Did you plan it? Was it something
absolutely,
you'd been thinking about for a long
absolutely,
time?
I actually,
Well, it's become very big and the industry has expanded now. And I know that, you know, when I'm working with the union with Kelly Pierce, you know, Kelly has taught me so much just being friends with her
hmm
and colleagues with her over
hmm
time because you know, you learn about what people go through. Alexis Arquette was a really good friend of mine, and Alexis Arquette, when I met Alexis, had done The Wedding Singer, one of the Arquette family, and I think he's the little brother. Um, Passed away now, rest in peace. But he was one of the first transgender people that I ever experienced, and he was like a best friend to me. She was a best friend to
hmm
me
hmm
um, and actually played me in a movie that I did and spoofed me and did a lot of things. And I remember one night we were on Santa Monica Boulevard. We were having dinner, and these are your friends, okay? And once somebody is your friend, the boundaries and the weird and the stigmas they just melt
they
away
do.
because where there is love, hate, racism, stigma, that all that stuff just melts away because that becomes your friend, you know, person you care about. And we were sitting outside a thing having dinner, and what ended up happening was this guy jumps out of a car and grabs one of them and starts beating him, hate bashing. You fucking faggot, blah, 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 the whole thing. So me and Alexis jump up and go, freeze, you know, and at this time I had been kickboxing. I used to do Krav Maga for
Heard
8 years, and
that.
I was pretty badass little chick at that time. And I'm like, freeze. And of course, they don't know the difference between me and whoever, which one's, you know, transgender and which one's not. I'm with my friends. We chased this guy across the street, held him up against the wall in the bank. It called the police. The police came. So up rolls this police car with this big old buffed out, you know, it's West Hollywood, a lot of gay people. work in West Hollywood, live in West Hollywood. He gets out of the car. We go. He was gay bashing, beating up our friend. Our friend's whole face is bleeding. Didn't do anything. We were innocently sitting there. And he goes, "Okay, I got it from here." We knew that guy was going to get his ass kicked. And he's like, "No, please don't take me to jail." Crying like a little bitch. Okay. But once you see somebody have that kind of hatred pointed at them, whether it's racism or whatever it is,
Whatever.
discrimination
Mm-hmm.
for gender, that will change your thinking
Mm-hmm.
about all of it
Mm-hmm.
because you hurt for them.
You do. And that was another reason, a major reason for me deciding to step into the arena of the T-girl and transgender market was the fact that um, women in our industry can go cross those boundaries, do those scenes, and come back and work like, hey, I never did anything, or whatever the case may be, and it's accepted. But when a male steps over those lines, I have to say that I had a strategy, and I talked to Joey Silvera, and he's well, good, like you said, a friend of mine for
Yeah, I know.
20 years.
I've known Joey Silvera for
He
30
he he and
years.
he and John were our John was and Joey still is my mentor. And I said, I'm gonna go do this. And he goes, hey man, you've been thinking about it for a while. Go ahead and do your thing, and also just be you. And so I'm here to represent the males who want to just do their thing. And I'm not whatever that is, but of course we test and we're screened. We have been since the 91. We were doing the ELISA test, but the point is, if you want to go and work with a T girl, go do it.
Are you doing it with condomless sex and stuff like that, or
Absolutely, they're
okay?
tested just like we're tested on the quote unquote.
So what would be, and I just want to check in with our studio and say that how are we running for time now? Because we're going to be running our show overtime, right? Because of the time it took to get up on live.
Yeah, it was. I think we were like 7 minutes over.
Okay, so just so I know,
Right,
so we
right.
can kind of gauge that in.
Yeah.
Um, so what would the protocol be? Now, first of all, is the industry giving you any kind of resistance?
Absolutely.
Oh, I had no
That's
idea.
the thing, though. Just like Hollywood, it's so fucking hypocritical. Our industry, when it comes to this particular subject, because all the people, studios alike, Mr. Michaels, you're the legend. You're the G. You're the this. You're the that. That's bullshit. Because guess what?
You
The
are.
the people. Yeah, I
But
know
you
that.
are all of those things,
But
Sean, and
those
so
same people, Amber, I don't hear anything from them anymore. Nothing, which is great because what I part of my plan was is to clear the bullshitters out of my life,
well, sometimes you have to
and
do that,
that
and I
did
faced
it.
that in my career as
That did it
well.
because the people who are down with me. Now, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of people in the industry that are still like, "We got you. You the man. You're the reason we're here.
Well,
We
that
got you."
confuses me because you're an industry who an entire section of that industry is populated by that genre to begin with.
Hmm.
Okay. So why would they then discriminate somebody? Now, I could see them wanting to make sure to keep the safe boundary
Sure,
of testing.
sure.
So, in order to, like with COVID, there are certain cities you go into, you have to quarantine for 14
Hmm.
days.
Hmm.
You have to test, and then, you have to get a clearance,
Right,
and then you go back
right,
into what you're doing.
right.
I could see you having some kind of imposed safety protocol, but we follow safety protocols for years. I
Absolutely,
was in the industry before that.
absolutely.
I will say this. When I first came into the industry, I was with Jamie Gillis for a long time, and Jamie was openly bisexual
Hmm.
for play.
Right.
Okay. And so I've had experience with this more than once in my life. And I think that to say I'm into that or I'm not into that is any human being's choice. It's a
It's
choice.
choice.
Our industry, the adult industry, has always been founded on choice,
Mhm.
consenting adults. So you can choose it or not choose it.
Right.
But for somebody to come in and say, I'm going to chastise, ostracize,
Yeah.
or turn my back on you as a human being because you're doing something I don't approve of
Yeah.
is the very stigma that this industry fights every day. And
Absolutely.
shame on them for doing that. That's
Absolutely.
how I feel about that.
Absolutely.
You know, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, Christian was doing it. I mean, I don't know if Christian wants me to say that. He was doing that for years. Excuse me. It's a little tough because of the COVID and stuff like that, having a mask on. Um, Christian was doing it for years. There were
Mhm.
guys that were crossing over and crossing back.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you know, if that's where you're at today, then I support that, and I'm glad that you're able to do that.
The thing is, Christian, I commend him because he's not only stepped over those boundaries, he's crushed them. And good on you, my man, and more blessings and success to you. Um, the thing is, I still do boy girl. I'm doing me, and I want other people, as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're doing things safely, to do you as well.
Okay, so they're saying go back and forth, go back and forth. Now, I know somebody who's going to be coming on the show as soon as I can clear my throat here. He also has faced some similar things in this respect. And are we ready to get him going live? Okay, so joining us now live in the studio, he is definitely a how many things is this guy? You know, he's been on my show so many times. He is literally a fan favorite co-host and guest. Been a guest many times. He's been a co-host. He is a celebrity hairstylist. He is a media personality. He is an actor. He's a musician. He has
Oh.
had some career in the mainstream industry. He has started out as a celebrity hairstylist, famous for his looks on Pamela Anderson, Anna Nicole Smith, Marilyn Manson, Faye Resnick. He got really well known back during the Clinton sex scandal. I don't know if any of you will remember that.
Just a little.
He did a makeover on Paula Jones and won the title of the Messiah of Makeovers. Daniel has gone on to become a successful musician and an
Oh.
actor. He's got hit songs out now on Trax Records. I have been to his shows. I've seen him play. He played for a while and opened with Grace Jones
Oh,
back
man.
in the day.
Now you're talking.
So, right? And so then he went on and said, I'm going to start doing mainstream films. He broke that ground and he's got several movies now to his credit. Vamp, Bikers, Trey. The most current one is called Japanese Borscht. And Daniel currently, and we're going to get Daniel to talk about it. About last year, Daniel came out on a brand new stage where he was the star attraction. And please welcome to the show, Mr. Daniel DeCristio is in the house with us. Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm
How
here.
you doing?
I'm doing great. I just voted. Look.
Awesome. I can't hear him on my
You voted.
headset.
That's right. I hear you, babe.
Can you hear him,
Yeah.
Sean?
Absolutely.
Scott, can you get
No, I was
him?
talking about the voting sticker.
I'm cut out from hearing Daniel at all. Is my mic unplugged? Hold on one second, Daniel. Let's just get this resolved.
Great
Should I
hair,
take my
Daniel,
headset?
by the way.
Oh, thanks.
What?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I was telling him great
I
hair.
hear Sean, but I don't hear Daniel. How's that? Hi. Give us just
Hey.
a second. We're
Oh,
working on the audio.
Oh, now I get to see you guys. Hey, Michael. Hey.
Hi
Hey,
there.
everybody.
Can we put him on a
Ah.
speaker or something? Give us just a
Hear me?
sec.
Get all that shit off your screen there. What is that?
I don't hear him at all. This is a dead headset for Daniel.
So you should be. One second.
I'll just entertain
Hey,
myself.
sweetheart, what are you doing?
Restroom close by.
Yeah, it's right here.
Just gonna go real quick.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. We just need a second to reset. You're gonna go out and use the restroom. Just come on back when you're ready. Go around that way. Awesome. So why don't you hand me Sean's headset while I am Sean's in the because Sean could hear Daniel.
Sean can
All right. So let's just go ahead and switch the headset for a second. No, I don't have him. Can you hand that to me, Denny, please? I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry about this, guys. We're going to go around and I am going to use Sean's headset. Thank you. Give me just a second. Oops. Hi,
Can you hear me?
Daniel.
Can you hear me now?
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
I don't hear him
Hello?
here either.
I'm here. I'm
Did you just
here.
unplug him? Denny, did you just? No, I don't have Daniel here at all on either headset.
Go there. Go there.
What? You want to try it again? Sorry, guys. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
There. I hear me.
Okay. Let me see if we
I
got it.
hear.
Hold on one second. Hi. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Daniel. Okay, we got Daniel. We got the headset situation resolved.
Your-
Can I
your,
see him?
Screen.
Let me see this beautiful guy. Sorry about that. There he is, guys. Daniel DeCristio is in the house. And what I wanted to do is open the show with you by talking about the current stuff that he's got going on. Daniel's been on the show so many times, and we've had him releasing albums on the show. We've had him doing live shows on the show. We've had him as a celebrity guest on the show. We've had him as an image consultant on the show. And I wanted to open the show because Sean is talking about, and are you listening to the show, Daniel?
Oh yeah, I listened to the whole thing.
Okay.
The whole thing. I'm from.
So what I wanted to talk about is Sean's talking about the new genre of entertainment that he's doing, and that, you know, he's in the adult business, been in the adult business for a very long time, and that he has put out a line of movies with T-girls. And I said that he's facing some stigma around it. Maybe they're not, you know, whatever's going on. And I said, Daniel, something similar, not the same, but Daniel was the star of a fashion show in Los Angeles at LA Fashion Week, right? I wish I had a picture of you in your costume.
Fashion Week. I did both of those, New York and LA, and it was for transgender clothing, and I dressed up, and I was the opener and a closer for the show. It's a celebrity opener and closer. So, and I had to wear the heels, the big gowns, and the, you know, the
So they
chiffon.
brought Daniel at LA Fashion Week. There was a transgender clothing line.
Excellent.
And Daniel comes out in this fabulous floating gown. I mean, I was so proud of him. And because I, for years, was known for the costumes that I would come out and wear on stage. And they said, she's traveling with $40,000 worth of costumes and blah, blah. And I told people, you know, I had this conversation. People will say, oh, Amber, you look like a tranny or whatever. And I say, oh, you say tranny like a bad thing.
Yeah, right.
What the hell is wrong with you? I wouldn't have been able to walk and talk and chew bubble gum and dance on stage for all those years. And believe me, guys, I made a lot of money. I won a lot of awards and did really well for 20 years of my life. And, you know, the people that taught me how to dress up and put my makeup on and do those shows were people like Alexis Arquette and all my girlfriends that were transgender, because let me tell you something, they know. And so tell us about the show. When was it? And
When I was listening, it's Sean, correct?
Yes.
Is it Sean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, what he's saying is definitely correct, what he was saying. I was like jiving with you on that. I was like, he knows what he's talking about. Because you got to do what you do. You know, you can't be worried about everybody, because that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you a star. That's when you provoke or you cross that boundary, that makes you go.
That's right.
You know, so I had apprehensions too. You know, when I got approached to do that fashion show, Amber, you know, I was not quite sure. But the point was, you know what? You only live fucking once.
Right.
And you know what? I want to do everything, and I don't have anything against anybody. And like he says, you love sex. Well, I love sex. And that's the way it goes, you know? You do it.
if you, you know, and one of the things that I think is totally a double standard is that what will happen is, and I've been through this myself, where early in my career when I came in, I wasn't a bisexual. I had never been with a woman. And I came into my career, and that was one of the first things that occurred for me. It's very normal in the adult entertainment industry to put a girl-girl scene together. As a matter of fact, a lot of women make whole careers off of that.
Whole careers.
Totally acceptable to take your wife or your girlfriend or whatever and then do girl-girl. I don't understand why it's totally normalized to have a woman want to explore her bisexuality and have it be so shut down for a man.
It's called super duper. The hypocrisy is just so
What is
ridiculous.
it, Daniel? What is it?
When you're a guy, this is what I have to say. When you're a
God.
guy, you have the thing on you from society from when you're little. Boys have to act like this. Boys have to do this.
Damn
and you
right.
cannot show emotion. You cannot show any sexuality, nothing. And you have to go this way straight through.
Right.
But you know what? Once you break that box open and you do what you feel is right, how you feel inside, that's when the trouble may begin with everybody. But guess what? If you look online, I think everybody's doing everything now. I think everybody's broken open the box, but a lot of them still cannot admit it.
Yep.
Well, and here's the thing. Again, I'm all for choices and people saying, you know what, that doesn't work for me and I'm not into that. And so, hey,
Fine.
no problem.
Whatever.
We said it for years. I say to people all the time, I've said this for years. If you don't like porn, don't buy my movies.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we're not
Okay, because I am in my movies, my porn, and my work is very hardcore. I've never been somebody who's been soft in my performances. I've done all forms of genre. DP, all of it before it was even popular to do
That's
it.
right.
I did the first double vaginal. It happened by accident on a set, but it was great once it did. But and I've always been somebody who has supported the gay community and being able to come up in that, as well as people who that doesn't work for them.
Right.
But so Daniel, the one thing I wanted to share with you is that I supported Daniel. I said, I'm really proud of you when you did that. You represented. It was great. He was just having a hoot with it, okay? Next thing you know, he shows up. He shows up at, where were we? And you came in and you had that black bustier on. He's wearing a bustier. He shows up at the Chateau Marmont and he's wearing, Danny, can I get you to step out with your phone? I'm sorry. You can't keep setting that phone off in here. Sorry. So Daniel comes in. He's got this beautiful red Versace suit on.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And he's wearing white pumps. And we're at the Chateau Marmont, which is an iconic.
Wow.
John Belushi was the guy who passed away there, right?
Wow.
So
Right.
the paparazzi's all out in front of the Chateau Marmont always. And Daniel and I have been photographed there many times. And Daniel gets out in this red suit and these white pumps, okay? And I'm like, you look awesome.
Big ponytail.
Bony,
And
what?
Big
The
ponytail.
ponytail.
Big
With my red-
ponytail. And everybody's just like, and they don't even know what to do, right?
Good.
And he's
Even
just,
better.
and he's just making, and Daniel's just making a big joke of it. He thinks it's fun. He's just having fun with his life and exploring his sexuality and his I call it exploring your fashion sexuality. With Sean, he's making movies. Okay.
And I'm also expressing the fact that fuck you, I'm going to do what I want to do because it's what I want to do.
What's his sign? What's your sign, Sean? What is your?
I'm a Pisces. I'm a true Pisces. Actually, I'm on the cusp.
Well, Pisces are very. They have two. Well, it's two fish.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And
I'm right on the cusp of Aquarian and a Pisces. But the thing is, it's my duty to continue to grow myself and who I am and my brand equity, but things that I truly, again, do what you like and love to do. You cannot go wrong. And there will be people that would oppose you, but guess what? They're going to oppose you anyway. They're always going to have something to say about what you do.
I'm going to bring it back,
Say
and
it.
I'm going to channel him right into the room right now because he was my mentor for years. In the words of William Margold, the historian and founder of our industry, it is our duty and our right.
All right.
As performers, directors, pornographers, to bring to our audience a way for them to vicariously live through us something that they would never imagine possible in their own real world. Okay.
That's it.
And that's the
Preach.
thing. It's when you go to a movie and you see stunt people, you don't actually think that Tom Cruise is going to fly a helicopter through the ceiling tonight.
Now, he might, though.
But that's called
Yeah,
stunt work.
that's true.
And that's why we love these actors and we
absolutely.
worship them as icons because they bring something to our world that we would never imagine being able to do
Right.
on our own. So I think that you have that as well when you're dealing with making films in the adult entertainment industry. I applaud you for being open to whatever your path that your life is taking you on.
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm driven spiritually also because I'm from like the descendants of the Shaka Zulu nation, and we are warriors, and we will let you know what time it is when it comes to trying to keep us from fulfilling who we are and our destiny, because we're not trying to hurt anyone. We're just trying to express ourselves as artists and as human beings. And if you want to have an opinion about that, which they will, and they will continue, I have to say, since I started working with T-Girls, I felt like those 500 pounds have been lifted off my shoulders, because now the people who are with me, they're with me. And they're, like I said, there are still people from my beginning of my career that are still with me, but all the bullshitters, I don't hear from them anymore.
Okay, good.
Well,
And that was
Great.
What's your input here, Daniel?
I think it's great people can be themselves, and we need to have fantasy in our life. You got to bring fantasy out because everyone fantasizes.
Everyone.
And if you sit there and stop that fantasy and you just box that in, no one's happy. And you know what? If they don't like you, that's their problem, because not everybody's going to like everything or anybody.
Absolutely.
And all. You have to like yourself.
That's what my
You
mama
live in
said.
okay, so whatever feels good to you. But the problem is there's going to be repercussions for everybody, whether you're straight, gay, tri, bi, whatever you are.
Yep.
But you're never going to be accepted 100%, even if you're straight or whatever the whole case is. So you have to live your life and be happy, because you only live it once.
Right.
And you make sure you make that a good book you live, because that's your book.
Right.
You know?
Thank you, Daniel. That's great input. So let's talk about Daniel for a minute. Daniel, what's going on with you? Working on a new song.
I have a new movie. I booked a new movie too,
What's
which
that?
I'm going to be doing in December.
Congratulations.
Can you tell us the title, or are you on an NDA?
I'm actually not supposed to say it, but I'll
Okay,
tell you later. I'll tell you later. But I have to go back and finish this other movie I'm doing, and it's called The Duke of New York.
Okay.
Nice.
New Ghost City. It's like a 2-title thing. And I have to go back to New York next week and finish that up, because now that the COVID thing's lifted, they're back to filming. So that'll be
Right.
good. That was like the other movie that I'm supposed to do in December. They had to hold on production as well. So that's one thing. The other thing I just did, if you looked at my social media, was King Princess came out with a new single, and she's this new lesbian singer, and I'm on her cover shot. And
I saw that. You look fabulous too.
T-Girls are on it. I'm on it.
Are you
whatever
singing on the album, on the actual LP or the single?
It's there. It's promoted. The cover, they boxed her as the cover, but the cover shot they put in there is me with her and the transgender girl, the T-girl. So that's the whole thing, and I'm so excited about that. That was really cool, because we shot that in January, or February, I think. And so now that's out. And also, I got my music. I'm working on a new single coming out, which is going to be great.
What's the title of that?
Because you see it on TikTok music videos.
I see you working out that TikTok. He's got that TikTok wired. He's always doing those little short videos. I guess we're not supposed to mention it. Isn't Trump going to outlaw TikTok?
No, he actually right now is trending on there with his little dance number he does, where he does a little thing like that. I don't know,
Trending.
but and everyone's like duetting with him. So here we go. Now he's like,
Some things you can't unsee.
I'm dance move he's doing. I can't even figure it out. I'm like, it's like, I don't know what he's
As
doing.
long
But
as you're having fun, though, how's everything going other than that? I know Daniel, and I just want to say God bless you, because I know that he recently lost his father.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
You lost him.
it was a really big deal in his life. And I've known Daniel for years, and I saw your pain, and I know that,
I'm wearing his
your
mother right now, right here.
so you have them with you, right?
Right on my cross. That's the ashes.
Nice. Beautiful.
So yeah.
Any fashion shows? I guess we're not doing any fashion shows anymore, right, guys? They've kind of shut
Well,
us
they
down.
are. They're doing it virtually, and I know in Paris they just had a lot of fashion shows, but people that were invited had masks on. Everyone had masks, and they had to sit certain, 6 feet apart and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. And but not in the United States. It's been virtual. They've been doing the virtual ones.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the virtual thing. It kind of misses something to me. I don't know. I like to be there.
Right. Right. Of course.
That's awesome. So I wanted to just talk a little bit with you about fashion trends in the pandemic, hairstyles, fashion. You got
Well, if I
any?
see more one of those undone buns on their heads these girls are wearing with their sweatpants on, they got to stop it. Okay, let's stop this, please. I hate that. Everybody thinks they're in their living room. You see them when you go out. They're just chilling.
They did actually. They had the Oscars. Was it the Oscars or the Emmys where they were in their living rooms and they were sending them like recording packages,
Yes.
and they were accepting their awards like in their pajama bottoms and their big T-shirts. And I was like, "Are you crazy?"
I don't like that. I like to be dressy. I like to dress,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you have to show respect.
That's
You're
right.
supposed to be in your living room.
Yeah.
How's the
mean,
lockdown going in LA? Any juicy gossip? Do you know anything about anybody being locked down with anybody else?
Do I know anything about anybody being locked down with anybody else?
Any rumors? Any famous people? Anybody under your table?
No, I just know right now that it seems like I don't know what's happening. I'm wondering what's going to happen with this election because, as you see, I voted.
Right.
See, today.
I voted
So-
too. I forgot my sticker, but I did vote.
Of course, I did.
Yeah, we did our
I'm
part.
not going to happen here, but I saw, Kanye's on the thing for vice president. But then I was just sent the ballot from Florida, and Kanye's name's not on that. It's some lady's name as the vice president. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay.
So I don't know what that little game is there. But
Yeah.
Kanye's on the ballot. I didn't even see his name.
Oh,
I was
on the ballot.
beelining, and I don't have to go and stand for my party, but I was like beelining. The only thing I wanted to know was, where's that president? I'm voting. Where is it? The whole rest of it, I was like, I had all my own stuff. But when it came to that, I was like, I knew what I was going to do, and I knew what I wasn't going to do.
Yes, but I don't know what's going to happen if Trump wins or if Biden wins, which I've known Biden my whole life. But I'm just wondering what's going to happen, the repercussions of whatever both sides. I mean,
that
'cause
concerns me as well, to be honest with you.
There's a
Whether
lot of
you're
people.
on a Republican or a Democrat, there is going to be some shit coming down either way you go.
I mean, look at Nigeria right now. They're having their problem right now, like that big protest problem that we've had. Now they're, Nigeria's on the roll. And it's sad, because I saw videos. Terrible what's going on. But I hope that doesn't come back here again, with this election. I hope we don't have to go through that. I don't want to go through that again.
I feel you on that.
Right?
I mean, I just think, I don't know how to explain it because everybody has their own opinions today about everything. So, my opinion is I can't deal with any more of this bullshit. Like, just stop, and I do blame a lot of the government. I do blame a lot of the public, just everything. It's a big, big mosh pit. And I don't know how to explain it, like, successfully.
Well,
But
I
it's just
know
too many folks in
that-
the kitchen.
I know that when this whole thing started, you were, do you mind talking about it? You were a really strong supporter of a certain direct party.
No. Let me clear that up because everyone thinks I'm so strong. No, what happened was I did not want to vote for Hillary Clinton, even though I'd met her and all that, and I was in the Clinton scandal. I'm tired of the Clintons. Okay? That's my personal opinion. Huh? I had to deal with that scandal because I was at the deposition and all that, Amber.
Yeah.
And I'm really tired of them, and I'm just like, can we have something new? And I know Trump was trying to run for years. Like 2010, TMZ interviewed me about it. And I was like, yeah, but see, Trump was on the good then. So everybody was like, oh, Trump, he's cool. But now, and I've known Trump too my whole life. My parents have been friends with him and Ivana and all that. So, and the thing is, though, I didn't know it was going to come back and bite me in the ass now that I would be, if I even say the name, it's like, and I'm not even saying I'm like, oh, he's the best. And, if he does something wrong, I'm the first person to say it. And to me, he's the president. Like my father told me before he passed, if he's out of office in 4 years, this might be another son of a bitch come in, okay, that we're just going to go crazy and talk about. So for another 8 years, you know, he's going to be here. But he can't go any further. And I'm trying to understand that because it gets in your psyche, like this whole Trump thing. I don't know how it turned into this. It's crazy to me. You know, never work again in Hollywood, you know, the whole BS and all that. And it's crazy, destroying people's lives. And
It sure is. Yeah, and I definitely hope that we're going to find a way to get to the other side of it.
Close to speak to me because of that, you know.
Right.
And that when he first became president, they just cut me right off that minute. And I was like, are you talking
about Trump or are you talking about the Clintons? Because you were involved all the way back with the Clintons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's
how about you, Sean? Do you have an opinion on the political election?
Absolutely, but we definitely don't have enough time. But I will say this, that again, we got a couple minutes. You know, we're at it. I want to say that number one, COVID is the great revealer, okay, because it reveals our character, good and bad. Right. It definitely revealed what this country is about. $1,200.
Well, it definitely shows you're going to give us $1,200.
When people are getting 6 months in Europe,
those are only
to
some
live.
people. If you made over a certain amount, you got jacked.
Exactly. So I definitely want change, right? Because some of us have kids, right? And if nothing else, just a society where, okay, we can think differently. We don't have to agree, but just live. Be peaceful together. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I think that's probably the best thing that I have heard in all of this. And as far as I go, you know, I am all for people that are good or they're doing their job. But I think all you have to do is look around you. If you want to see what's happening, just look around you, and that is a problem for me. I know there's a lot of resistance and contempt on both sides of the fence, but I never in a million years thought that in my lifetime I would see this world go from where it was to where it stands today. And I think we need to bring some young blood in on this. I'm worried that we have a couple of old men who are up for, you know, running our country. And that concerns me because I want somebody in there who's going to identify with the youth. And this is their world. And that's where we're going to come in on it. Anyway, guys, I think that's all the time we have for tonight's show. And I just want to say thank you, Sean, for coming in and doing the show live. Guys, Shawn Michaels, give them where do you follow you, Sean?
Oh, well, right now it's basically Twitter, because Twitter, I think they got it right, the whole social media thing. I do not condone Facebook one bit, although I have a I have a page on there and I just can't get rid of it. But I'm also with the AVN Stars media group over there doing that thing with a platform for our content, and also on ManyVids.
He's on Twitter at Shawn Michaels 42. Guys, give him a follow, please do.
And I'm about to relaunch ShawnMichaels.com by the end of December as well. And
so join his website, ShawnMichaels.com. And Daniel DeCristio, where are we following you at, gorgeous?
You can follow me anywhere, Amber, anywhere you want. You could get me on all the social medias. It's just Daniel DeCristio. DanielDeCristio.net is my website. And also, don't forget my show, Trendsetting with Daniel DeCristio, where my current episode, I'm interviewing as my guest David Eisenhower, who's Camp David's named for. And so my new episode will be coming out soon. And I won that award, as you know, for my show from the Taste Awards.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, and
I'll be checking you out.
The person who won before me, the year before, was RuPaul. He got the same award for his show.
He
so
did?
I'm blessed.
You're in good company.
He is blessed. They are blessed. They are gorgeous. I want to thank you all for joining us again for another amazing episode of Rockin' Sexy Uncensored. We will have the show, both audio and video, up on the blog. It will be there at rockindsexyuncensored.com, which is where you can log in weekly on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. in order to direct link right to our show. We had a few technical difficulties tonight, but it didn't stop us from doing the show. And I want to thank all our listeners for persevering and
y'all.
joining us for tonight's episode.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to having you back again next week for another amazing episode of Rockin' Sexy Uncensored. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Pay for your
Thank
porn.
you for tuning in to Amber Lynn's Rockin' Sexy Uncensored, available on rockinsexyuncensored.com. Don't forget to hit us up on all your favorite social media links and tune in next week for another amazing episode of Rockin' Sexy Uncensored.